Stoicism is normally defined as focusing on what you can control and tuning everything else out. And this begs the question, and this is the whole thesis of the video, what can you actually control? What can you control? How do you know what is in your control and what's not? Like, I don't know. Let's say an asteroid's coming toward Earth, and it has 10 years, and you're a fucking stockbroker or some shit. You're a regular ass person, and that asteroid's heading toward Earth, and it's gonna get here. Did I already say 10 years? Get here in 10 years, and it might hit us, it might not. Is that completely out of your control? Like, should you take those 10 years and live your life to the fullest and just expect it to happen as a stoic? Or should you maybe pick up an astrophysics textbook and look into the science of divergent thinking and optimizing creative thinking to try to brainstorm solutions while you're concurrently learning about astrophysics? Like, especially if you're a 20-year-old guy who has his entire life ahead of him, maybe you don't want to die in 10 years. Like, humans are capable of so incredibly much. Incredibly much? Is that how you say it? We have done so many things that if you ask somebody 20 years before they were done, if it would ever be possible, they would fucking laugh. Airplanes, spaceships, cell phones that go to space and come back with radio waves or whatever the fuck it is. Internet connection. The printing press. I mean, the list goes on and on. We probably do impossible shit every single day. At least one human being on this planet. And the people that do the impossible shit are really not that different from you. Like, you might think you're not special, but you don't need to be special. We're all very special. It's very special what's going on in every single one of our bodies. It's nothing like us has ever happened before. How dare you say that something is out of your control? How could you possibly know that? How could you possibly know that if you took 10 years and maybe spent a little bit of time enjoying life just in case things didn't work out, like maybe go half and half, do a little split of time. But who are you to say that if you didn't dedicate hours and hours and hours and days and months and years of your life to studying astrophysics and fucking doing all kinds of shit, trying to learn and looking into the science of skill learning and neuroplasticity in the brain, and like I said earlier, divergent thinking, creative thinking. I've been doing a lot of looking into this myself, and apparently there's a lot of data on how you can optimize how creative you are, because there's a lot of biological levers that you can pull on to make yourself more creative. It actually has a lot to do with turning off the prefrontal cortex in the brain, because there's a lot of inhibition network going on in the prefrontal cortex that kind of blocks out creative thoughts. It rationalizes them away. But when you want to think creatively, you actually kind of want stupid, weird, dumb, extraordinary ideas. That's another conversation entirely. But how dare you say to yourself, this is out of my control? How do you know? It's magic. It's magic what's going on in the brain. It's so insanely magical and beautiful that it doesn't make any sense to say that. And I could give another example, but frankly, I feel like I don't need to. I feel like I've made my point. But I just want to stress that Stoicism is really fucking amazing. Like, it's cool. It's a really good way of thinking about the world. I just think that you need to take that into account. I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit here when it comes to thinking about what they can and can't control. And be a stoic. I'm a stoic. I think about that shit all the time. And it's helped me find a lot of peace on this planet. But always be asking yourself, am I limiting myself by relinquishing control? Because that's what you're kind of doing, is you're kind of submitting to the world. You're submitting to the greater forces of nature. And in a sense, there's often not a lot wrong with that. One of my favorite albums of all time is called Vanisher, Horizon Scraper by Quedeca. One of my absolute favorite musicians that's ever walked the face of this planet. And the core thesis, the theme of that album is submitting. It's about a sailor who sets out to chase the horizon, and he wants to scrape it, but you can't really scrape it. That's not something you can do, because it's always going to be just as far away from you as it was 1,000 miles back. So it's a metaphor, but it's also, he's sailing through the ocean in a vessel, in a boat, all by himself, and he doesn't have much gear with him to stay alive. You know, he's not all that prepared, so it's kind of letting go. It's letting go of control and accepting that this ocean, this vast, incredible, unpredictable ocean, it's just going to do what it wants to do. And if a rogue wave comes and crashes your boat, and you flip, and it flips over, that's what's going to happen. It's just something that was going to happen. And it is kind of liberating to just take your hands off the wheel and just completely let go of any hope of controlling something. But at the same time, it's worth asking yourself, do I want to do that yet? Do I have enough information to prove to me that I cannot do this thing? It's hard to say. And I might sound crazy, but you know that human beings do impossible shit all the fucking time. You just don't think you're one of those human beings. And there's no reason for you to think that, other than the fact that you had maybe you had a really normal upbringing or a very unspectacular upbringing. None of that matters. In my opinion, it's more so, what are you willing to pay attention to? What are you willing to spend time on? I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm just fucking nuts. I sound nuts. Abby, do I sound nuts?
No, I'm not listening.
She's not listening. That's the video. That's all. That's all I have to say. I don't know. Was this useful? Did you find any kind of value in this? Or was this just... Yapaholic. I'm not a yapaholic. That was very whiny. That was a very whiny voice. I'm not. Goodbye.